drove a truck for 5 summers. The last year came up with some ideas on maybe I should pursue that more, and another fellow and I, Steve Boyd, got together and we did 4 trucks the first year, and then 7, then 11, and brought on, quote, employees, colleagues, and 77, I think.
I've been involved for 35 of those 50 years, and it goes by fast. First few seasons when I worked, it was definitely all college students. So that was kind of a different demographic, and there was some fun interactions with that group. It's evolved to be different now. Behind us, we have one of a handful of Steve Boyd Trucking Company trucks that over the years of the history of Morningstar Trucking, Steve Boyd has been very instrumental in the success of the Morningstar Trucking Company. This is a 1997 truck, and many of the new truck drivers are very interested in driving it because it's nothing like the new trucks at all. So it's quite an interesting experience for them to drive a real truck.
But I got familiar with the tomato industry, and I go talk to the growers and go to the canneries, and we grew to maybe 20 trucks and 20, 25 drivers. And I was able to, as I was trying to raise the money to build a factory. The serious innovations that you can employ require a new factory and a new factory design, such as the hill over here and the pond that's way over there for cooling instead of cooling towers. I listened to the engineers very carefully, but the ideas that I had, like unloading up on a hill, it's like, well, the tomatoes just won't come out of the flume. Well, okay, I was able to test those things, some of those things at Ingomar, and see it. And so here at Los Banos, we employed a number of innovations which took advantage of my experience and design, so that happened to work out. So that's how we got over here.
The most interesting thing about this factory is it's the first plant in the company. And what you see as you go through this plant is you see the core of the operation, and then you see concentric growth over it. And at each stage, you can kind of see how the technology evolved, how Morningstar used key learnings from this factory to construct the world's largest factory up north in Williams, and how some of the technologies that were developed around here also were instrumental in the development of the Liberty factory and the renovation of that in the early 2000s. The other neat thing is, since this factory is the smallest of the 3, even though it's the 3rd largest in the world, we're able to implement some new technologies on a much smaller scale, which means we're able to take the risk a little bit more. Since we have the smaller scale relative to Morningstar overall, we tend to take those opportunities more and try to share those learnings with the other 2 factories with hopes that they can, if it is successful, they can leverage it on their larger scales as well.
Great. Hey, Todd. Todd. Hi.
Each startup of each factory, we would be sure as a family to be there in the filler building when the first box was filled.
This one was put up pretty fast.
I remember a lot of long days. Sometimes there was a few days that were probably around 18-hour days.
The groundbreaking picture that we took was right over to the right of me right now. We took it right here. And when we took that picture, I remember we lined up, we had a ribbon and stuff. And it was a small group, and that was the core group of what we had. And Chris was there, and we're like, Chris, get up. No, you guys all get up front here. It's all about you guys. And it was just kind of cool and it was taken right here.
Wonderful, wonderful people. There's not one colleague at Morningstar that I would say is not an asset. We would not be who Morningstar is if it weren't for the colleagues.
It's a family to me. It's always been a family to me. It's been a family to my father.
To all the Morningstar customers, we would not be where we are today if it weren't for you.
Thank you to all our customers out there. worldwide. Morningstar wouldn't be here without you guys.
Thank you so much for years of wonderful partnerships, and we really hope that the years ahead will see similar success and even greater.
We appreciate the collaborations, the great discussions, and we appreciate the loyalty that you've had to us over the years. I appreciate what you guys have created in terms of finished products. You're feeding the world, and we appreciate that you chose us to partner with in order to accomplish that. So thank you very much.
It's beautiful. It shows you what can happen if you actually pursue perfection. We can keep things going. I'm ready for another 50 years or so, if everybody else is.